Hi, One Best Air Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Wednesday, April 27th. We are talking with Ian Cameron, baseball analyst, SBR contributor, and we have been assigned to cover the overnight line for the Milwaukee-Chicago game. Ian Cameron, this is a tough one. Of course, it's at Chicago, so we don't have a total for this game. And as expected, as you would guess, Jon Lester starting against Davies, the line is massive, right? If you want to take Chicago here, minus 260. If you want to go against that and take Milwaukee, you got to take Milwaukee. As far as I'm concerned, probably it's going to be a pass for me as far as a bet on the side. Maybe when the total comes out, I'll touch that one. But I don't know. Can you really take the Cubs here at minus 260? Maybe you can. Davies been absolutely awful so far in his two starts, and Lester's been Lester. So maybe it is worth a shot at minus 260 with the Cubs. What do you think?
Well, you know what? When I see a big favorite like this, the first thing I do when I handicap a game in this price range, I try to make some kind of case for the underdog to look at them at the big plus price. And in this particular matchup here, Peter, I just don't know if I can do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the Milwaukee Brewers, I mean, Zach Davies has been just absolutely horrendous. And then the numbers don't sugarcoat it whatsoever, just how horrendous he has been pitching here early in the season. He's made two starts, 9.72 ERA, 10 runs on 17 hits and just 8.1 innings of work, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's not missing bats. He's got control issues. He's getting smacked around. It's just a whole gamut of problems that you don't want your money on a particular starting pitcher. And that's what Zach Davies has going for him right now with this Milwaukee Brewers team. I mean, he's just been awful. And what is very concerning for me is I like to look at peripherals. Advanced metrics are certainly part of the things that I handicap. FIP, XFIP, I like to know that kind of thing. I like to know the velocity. I like to know swinging strike rate. And it's the swinging strike rate metric with Zach Davies that really does have me concerned here. I mean, his swinging strike rate last season with the Milwaukee Brewers, 10%. This season here in the first month of the season in April, it's down to 7.1%. So he's just not getting very many swings and misses from opposing hitters. He's not fooling anybody. He's not missing a ton of bats. That's a big problem here. And it's even a bigger problem when you're considering who's he playing here. He's playing a potent lineup and a very deep lineup, and they've proven it time and time again. Chicago Cubs, second in Major League Baseball in runs scored, averaging 6.15 runs per game. The Milwaukee bullpen, you know, Davies is not likely to pitch deep here. He's got a track record of not going deep into games. He hasn't pitched more than 6 innings in 6 of his last 7 starts dating back to last season. That means the Cubs, even after they smack around Davies, which they have the potential to do, they might be able to score some runs late against Milwaukee's bullpen, ranked 27th in Major League Baseball in team ERA. That's not good for closing the door in the latter stages. So this could be a day where the Chicago Cubs are able to put up some crooked numbers on the scoreboard here against some bad Milwaukee starting pitching potentially and a very suspect bullpen behind Zach Davies in this start.
Yeah.
You know, and on the flip side here, we've got Jon Lester, veteran lefty, on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. He's had a solid beginning here in April. Nothing to complain about. 1.98 ERA. In 4 starts for Jon Lester. Cubs are 3-1 in those 4 starts. Lester shut down the Brewers in both of his starts against them last season, allowing just 2 runs in 13 innings of work. In those 2 Lester starts against Milwaukee last season, Cubs won both of those games too, and they won them by a combined score of 10-2. Blowout city when you combine the score of those 2 games.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I can give you an advanced metric if you like advanced metrics here. That's a little bit of a negative with Lester. He has an extremely low BABIP so far over his first starts of the year. It's, I think, 217. So, you know, that's a small negative for him, right?
It is. There's no question. He does have, like I say, that good track record against Milwaukee. The concern thing that I always have with Lester is this case of the yips that he's had over the years when runners get on base. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. He's not, you know, he doesn't handle that kind of situation very well. And the thing that I look at is Milwaukee, you know, they're going to be hard pressed, I think, to get base runners in this game. I mean, if they had a little bit of a better lineup against southpaws, against lefties, I may have some more faith that maybe they could get runners in scoring position, put some pressure on Lester, who doesn't really handle that situation with guys on base very well, as we've seen clearly in years past. The problem is, you got a Milwaukee team hitting 197 against a team as a team against lefties. That's just not going to get the job done. So it could be a problematic matchup here for this Milwaukee lineup against Lester, considering how feeble they have been against lefty starters. The price, obviously, on the Cubs is way too rich for me in this kind of price range. If you're going to play Chicago, I would recommend them, laying -1.5 runs on the run line when that option becomes available at Vegas and offshore sports books. Team total over with the Cubs, probably also a good way to look. In fact, I've cashed a couple of Chicago Cubs team total over wagers this season already. I mean, being able to take advantage of the suspect pitching they faced and the fact that this lineup very deep, very talented. Soler, Rizzo, Bryant. You go on down the list, just tremendous hitters up and down. Dexter Fowler, a much improved hitter, working on that aspect of the game in the offseason. He's improved at the plate. So very deep, very potent Cubs lineup. It'll be a long day for Zach Davies and that beleaguered Milwaukee pitching staff.
Yeah, all right, Ian Cameron. I'm not saying I'm going to bet it, but if I had to bet it, if you forced me to bet this game, as of right now, I think I would take Chicago Cubs, and I'd line shop to get the least steep price that I had to bet on it. Ian Cameron, thanks so much. Talk again very soon.
Thanks, Peter. Enjoy the games and good luck.